With Marcus Rashford winning the Premier League Player of the Month in front of the likes of Haaland, it is looking like Erik Ten Hag has completely transformed Rashford into a machine. But he is not the only player Erik changed. So just sit back and watch how this crazy genius Erik Ten Hag improved Malacia and Dalot with this simple tactical role. The new Manchester United manager will be calling on his fullbacks to do some heavy lifting work within his system during this season in the Premier League. The Dutchman teams are known to be very attacking with a high pressure and a high line of engagement. If you watched Manchester recent games, it's very clear what their new style is. Ten Hag has shown to value versatile fullbacks in his strategy, for which he needs wide defenders to create decoys or options by cutting in at angles beside the forwards, combining with wingers and also to be present in the final spaces of the pitch to assist the strikers. Malacia and Diogo Dalot are perfect players to do that. Their involvement in the attack has already been evident in pre-season. Under the exciting attacking mid of the Dutch manager, Manchester United's new fullback duo are set to be performant offensively and defensively. While Diogo Dalot was already at the club, he came when Jose Mourinho was the coach, but then he was loaned to AC Milan. Malacia was the main target for the left-back position. Dalot didn't play much games the previous season. He was more like a second choice behind Wan-Bissaka for the right-back position. On the other side of the pitch, the left-back spot was intended to be for Luke Shaw. The international English player did show a lot of potential at Southampton, but then went to Old Trafford and didn't turn out to be what people expected him to be. The club paid £30 million for him in 2014, and he did play some good games, but his performances were not as good as in the English national squad, so the fans were getting upset. That's why in 2020, they signed Alex Telles from FC Porto, spending £16 million, but the Brazilian was not a match either. Finally, it seems like the club has found their perfect left back. Erik Ten Hag knows him very well since he played against him on many occasions when he was coaching Ajax and Malacia was playing for Feyenoord. The coach was really impressed by the young player's performances that he even considered bringing him to Amsterdam before he joined Manchester United. Now, the Red Devils have on the team two young players who are full of potential and that are receiving instruction from a top manager. That will be crucial for the players' development and will improve the team by a lot. It's been a while since the club had so good fullbacks. For that, we have to go back to the Sir Alex Ferguson days when he had Patrice Evra on the left and Gary Neville on the right. Malacia and Dalot can probably reach the same level of those two. Remember that the Dutch and the Portuguese are still young. They are both 23 years old. In fact, Malacia's style is quite similar to Patrice Evra. They are both quite short and fast players who can play with both feet and make very good crosses while having a great stamina to run up and down the wing. Like Sir Alex Ferguson had to do with Evra, who was a raw talent when he arrived in Manchester from Monaco, now Erik Ten Hag has to do the same with Dalot and Malacia. They are players with huge potential but who need to be tactically educated. While Dalot is a little bit better than Malacia offensively, the left back does show more quality than the Portuguese when it comes to the defending part. One thing they both have though is that they are aggressive on the pitch. In a good way, of course. They are ready for the physicality and the intensity of the Premier League. Nevertheless, they have to learn a couple of things like what to do and where to be when they don't have the ball to ensure the balance of the team. The positioning of the players on the pitch is very important for the manager. He wants every player to know his role so that the team does not concede too much space to the opponents. Manchester United defensive shape is very organized. That's thanks to Erik Ten Hag, who coordinates his players like a clockwork. They know how to react and how to face different types of defensive situations. Their job is really similar to what Philipp Lahm and David Alaba used to do in Germany for Bayern Munich. They are fullback who progress with the ball from deep and who are also very good at finding spaces with accurate long passes while knowing the perfect moment to overlap. This role is known as the inverted fullback and is the simple tactical change that Erik Ten Hag did to improve Malacia and Dalot performances. This inverter fullback strategy is perfect because it's helping the team defensively and offensively at the same time. It's still a very recent tactical role in modern football, so it's gonna change a bit if you watch the NFL. The players have been doing it for a while. Now, let's compare them to other fullbacks in the Premier League like Cancelo, Walker, Trent, Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. The two Red Devil players are not on that level yet, but they surely will be very soon. Ten Hag is the ideal man to help them reach that level. The organisation of the defensive line is going to be a key to Manchester United's success. You can see the difference between the recent games from the first games of the season when the team conceded a lot of goals because the players were not used to the new tactics. Now they are getting more and more comfortable with their roles. They know what to do in order to protect the goal. Malacia and Dalot will hold deeper positions by reversing on the field and will help Varane and Martinez closing spaces. When the fullbacks attack, they can also rely on the midfielders to be there to cover for them. Casemiro is an expert in those kinds of situations because he did it so many times in Real Madrid to cover for Marcelo and Carvajal. And Scott McTominay is learning from the Brazilian. He already is showing a lot of improvement in that area compared to last season. Erik Ten Hag did a great job improving Dalot and Malacia's strengths while minimizing their weaknesses. With time, they will become top-level players like the Liverpool and Manchester City fullbacks. When that day comes, Manchester United will be a top Premier League team capable to fight for the title again. The fact that they will face the greats like Salah, Luis Diaz, Raheem Sterling and Bukayo Saka will help them improve as well. While Malacia developed himself in the Eredivisie, Dalot had a great opportunity to learn and have game time in the Serie A. He was a very important player for Pioli in the AC Milan team, where he gained a lot of experience by playing 21 games in one season, scoring 1 goal and making 1 assist. Last season, in the Netherlands, Malacia also had good stats. He played 32 games, scored 1 goal and made 4 assists. Ten Hag knows what they can do and believes in their quality. He wants more from them. He is a very demanding coach, so he always wants more from everyone. He has chosen Dalot as his first choice right back to begin the season, and the Portuguese performances under the new system are not disappointing at all. Dalot combined on multiple occasions with his forwards to produce goals and also did very good combinations with right winger Jadon Sancho. Malacia will most likely be a favourite of Ten Hag's this season. This guy fits the new system like a glove. He is composed on the ball and fearless in defense. He has everything the modern fullback needs. Just to prove you that his quality is impressive, listen to this stat. Last season in Feyenoord, Malacia won 99% of his ground deals. That's outrageous! And he also managed to have an 85% of accurate passing per game and 1.6 successful dribbles per game. He was also the only player in Europe's top 7 leagues last season to average greater than 1.5 shots per game and 2.5 tackles per game. You can expect him to be a key player who will bring a lot of contributions to the team's performances this season for Manchester United. These two young players have started up almost every game. They were absolutely amazing in the 3-1 victory against Arsenal at Old Trafford. So if you want good fullbacks in your fantasy Premier League team, these players are very good options. They're also quite cheap, by the way. So both players will be very important for Manchester United this season and have improved a lot tactically under Erik Ten Hag, who deserves all the credit. They will be a part of both the attacking and defensive process. If you want to know more about Manchester United players, then you have to check out our recent video on why Christian Eriksen is Ten Hag's favorite player. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support means a lot. See you!